Well, how you doing, everybody? I am Jim Ladd, and I am so excited about being able to share this experience with you. Yesterday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the House of Blues on the Sunset Strip, we gathered for Jim Ladd's living room. What you are about to hear is exactly what happened. It is unedited in any way, and this is what took place at the House of Blues in Jim Ladd's living room with the Doors. I hope you enjoy it. You're listening to 95.5 KLOS Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from 95.5 KLOS, Jim Ladd.
All right.
All right. How you doing, everybody? Thank you for coming out tonight. Lord have mercy. All right. Well, let me tell you, I want to thank you for coming to this very special presentation of Jim Ladd's living room here at 95.5 KLOS. We have gathered in this place not for the purpose of nostalgia, for the Doors are not here to relive anything.
I am.
Anything.
$200, eh?
Why is it always the drummer? That's all I want to know. Well, apparently, the Doors are not here to relive anything, except Stewart is here to relive something. All right. What we're here to celebrate is the music. Music more important than any sum of its parts, which will speak as clearly today as it was when it was written. We have gathered here to bear witness to a new beginning. A new beginning. Yeah. This is a new incantation for a modern yet familiar ritual. And with that in mind, I have to ask you this one question. Is everybody in? Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Jim Ladd's living room, The Doors.
Keep
bebop, they got your right to me, got your sideways as well, yeah. Ashen lady, ashen lady, give up your vows, give up your vows. Save our city, save our city, right now. Well, I woke up this morning and I got myself a bill. I woke up this morning and I woke up this morning and that's right. I woke up this morning and myself a bill. That's right. The future's uncertain and the end is always near. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll all night long. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Oh, we've got a new arrangement for Strange Days. We're going to do Strange Days for you. And this is our brand new arrangement.
Jam. I think you know everybody up here. Ray Manzarek.
Thank you.
Robby Krieger. Ian Astbury. I hesitate to do this, but Stewart Copeland on the drums. And a gentleman by the name of Angelo on bass. What's your last name, Angelo?
Barbera.
Angelo Barbera on bass.
Like Hanna-Barbera.
Let's start with Mr. Manzarek here.
Hiya, Jim. How you doing,
I loved
man?
it. I
Yeah.
just loved it.
Not bad. Not bad.
Nice
huh?
going, man.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Let's just start with, how does it feel to be here on this stage in this new lineup playing these songs?
This is like a dream come true, man, to be here at the House of Blues and with all these good people out here. I mean, what better place to play than the House of Blues, to be with you guys? Been around forever with us, you know. You've known the Doors. Jim and I first hooked up when after Mr. Morrison died. And I heard a great show that Jim Ladd did about 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks after Jim's death, and it was just gorgeous. And by the way, I'd like to, at this point, acknowledge that we miss dearly and we love him very much, and the tragedy of the loss of Jim Morrison weighs heavily on all of us. But this ain't no tribute band, you know?
Amen.
We ain't doing no tribute. You know, there's a lot of great tribute bands out there. What you're witnessing tonight is the beginning of the new Doors. The Doors for the 21st century. The Doors retooled for the 21st century, with Ian Astbury handling the lead vocals and Stewart Copeland from the Police handling all the drums. The great drum chair. What a brilliant drummer. What a pleasure it is to play with these guys. So it's a sheer pleasure to be here, man.
Well, I'll tell you, I think it's wonderful that we're watching this rebirth, and you guys are seeing it for the first time. You're the first audience to see this. Let me ask Mr. Krieger. I'm sorry, Robby, you're going to have to get up and trundle over to the mic. Thank you very much. You started with Roadhouse Blues, still one of the great rock songs I think ever written. Where'd you come up with the riff for that particular? Because that guitar riff is, the minute it hits, you know what's going on.
Yeah, boy, I wish I knew where I got the idea. I think Jim Morrison had the idea. He said, "Robby, just go dun 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 dun." It's okay.
So from that, yeah. See, I can go dump to dump, but it's making it come out a guitar riff that is. Let me ask you, too, and I'm going to ask you first, Ian, and then the drummer, who I'm going to have trouble with all afternoon, I know. Oh, am I cool now? Okay, good. Well, I want to ask you both individually what this music means to you on a personal level. You know, as not only as somebody who's now playing it, but what is it? How does it speak to you as a person?
It's I've been a Doors fan since I was about 10 or 11 years old. I remember first hearing Riders on the Storm on the radio. I used to have a little radio. I used to put it under my pillow. My parents didn't know about it. And I remember hearing Riders on the Storm when I was about 10 years old and absolutely being mesmerized by that song. And during the punk rock years, I came out of punk rock really. One of the few classic bands that was embraced by punk rock was the Doors. And certainly in the Liverpool area where I grew up, the Doors was a very, very important band. 1980, you walk into any club in Liverpool, you would hear the Doors. And a club I used to go to was right where the Cavern used to be, where the Beatles, originated. The Doors music was omnipresent there, and it's been with me ever since. And this is it's a huge responsibility, having to sing. Obviously, it's pretty obvious. The knives are out. I mean, everyone's there waiting, but it's a privilege. It's an honor, and with Robby and Ray, it's been amazing. And Stewart and Angelo, it's an amazing experience, and I hope you guys take this for what it is. I hope you're able to embrace it for what it is. Jim Morrison is irreplaceable. You know, Jim Morrison's almost a saint, so he's irreplaceable. But I'll do my damnedest to try and do justice to the music. Thank you.
All right. Well said. Very well said.
I've been finding out, Ian, I think you're pretty irreplaceable yourself, as a matter of fact.
You know, that was very well said, and it does take balls of steel to step up and do what you're doing, but after what I heard, take a deep breath. You're here. Really.
Well, I think I'm a couple years older than Ian, and I was actually playing in bands, and I had to play these.
A lot sexier, though.
Yeah. And I actually had to play these John Densmore songs, and these are always the tough ones because of his single-stroke rolls, and he had these persnickety fills. And the Densmore part, I mean, he's moaning about the Jim Morrison part, but the Densmore parts are not that easy either.
Yeah.
But I guess they're not going to kill me if I get them wrong.
Right.
They're going to get you, boy.
Let me explain.
But wait a minute, I haven't finished yet.
Oh, okay.
There's the part that I need to share with the audience, which is the fantasy part. There I am, aged 15 in a music store, you know, trying out a snare drum or something like that, and I'm imagining this fantasy that in walk the Doors. And I'm there trying out the snare drum, and they kind of overhear me in the corner and say, "Hey, kid, you're pretty good. Why don't you come back and jam with us guys?" And that was the fantasy then, and now, 30 years later, here we are.
All right.
Woo!
I had a fantasy 30 years ago they'd be on my radio show, so I know exactly what you're saying. Let me just say very quickly about John Densmore. He's got tinnitus.
Tinnitus. John's ears have gone bad, and he's got tinnitus, and he's not going to be able to play rock and roll drums. So Robby and I said, "Oh God, man, well, you know, because we got this whole Harley thing coming up, and you know, we're looking forward to doing that, and Ian's looking forward to singing, and it's going to be a great night out in Fontana out there. So, you know, this Friday, it's going to be fabulous. So we got Ian singing, and you know, and Angelo's going to be covering the bass stuff, and all of a sudden we don't have a drummer. So Robby and I said, well, God, who can we get to replace John? Who can we get as the new Doors drummer?" And then the idea came, Stewart Copeland from the Police. Yeah! Who is just doing a monster job on drums. Yeah. Thank you, man.
I wanted to save this for the stage rather than backstage, but I called John last week, and John Densmore was excited this guy was playing. He has so much respect for Stewart Copeland as a drummer. He said, man, they could not have gotten anybody better to sit behind that drum kit. So that's pretty high praise from John Densmore.
All right, Stewart.
Ray?
Jim, you know what? Jim, I talked to John.
Go ahead.
No, he's just, he wanted to, you know, give his blessings to what we're doing, and he was, like you said, he was really happy that Stewart is going to be the drummer. And so he's cool with the whole thing.
All right.
All right.
Good. High praise indeed. You guys, the three of you, have always been so protective of Jim's legacy. And, you know, to this date, we don't hear the Doors on car commercials. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. And you've just been very protective of his legacy and so forth. Do you think he'd be, I think he would be extraordinarily proud to know that everybody came here today to hear this music 30 years down the line, don't you?
Well, I think Jim would just dig the whole thing that's going on. You know, like some people in France, the French people who, you know, can be a little bit, you know, on that, how they are. Anyway, they said, it is a dishonor to Jim for you to be playing. Well, it's not a dishonor. It's an honoring of Jim Morrison. We're not dishonoring Jim. These are Jim's songs, man. We're doing Jim's songs. We're laying them down. Granted, we're going to be doing some new stuff coming up in the future. We're going into rehearsal and we're going into composition.
All right. All right.
But for now, we're beginning the process of being the Doors in the 21st century with this honoring of Jim Morrison and his music, man.
All right.
So I think Jim would dig the hell out of it myself.
Let me get this on the record so we know, so everybody hears it. there's going to be new music and a new album.
Okay, well, we'll get to it, Jim. We'll get to
right,
it. It's not going to be next week. You know, we got to start to work.
Clock is ticking here, Ray.
We've got to go into composition. Robby and I have been putting together some songs. We're waiting for Ian to put some lyrics on it. We'll get to that in the next couple of weeks.
Right, that's what I wanted to hear. All right,
we've got some stuff that Jim Carroll, great poet out of New York City, great lyricist, Jim Carroll. So there's some things that Jim Carroll and I have put together that I want to bring in for Doors consideration. So there will be, probably in 2003, there will be a new Doors album.
Very good. That's what we want to hear. All right, speaking of Doors compositions, you guys are about to do a Robby Krieger composition. Without telling them what the song is, I want you to tell us how this thing came about, because this is one of your more famous Doors songs, and you wrote it. So tell us how this came about before you go into it.
Well, I was sort of thinking about the guys who were going off to Vietnam, right, in the 60s. And, you know, they'd be going out for maybe 6 months or maybe longer, right? And they wouldn't see their girlfriends for a long time, or their wives or whatever. And so the song was about, you know, what you want to do before you leave, before you go away. You want to love her 2 times at least.
At least. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Love me 2 times, baby. Love me twice today. Love me 2 times, girl. I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, girl. One for tomorrow, one just for today. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 1 time, I could not speak. Love me 1 time, yeah, my knees got weak. Love me 2 times, girl, last me all through the week. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. All right, yeah. Love me 1 time, I could not speak. Love me 1 time, baby. Yeah.
You're listening to The Doors on 95.5 KLOS. The Doors, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Ian, here. I want to ask you a question.
Just wearing it in my thing.
You were on the Stoned Immaculate.
That's correct.
Album, a tribute for the Doors.
Yeah.
And you did. Go ahead. That's all right. It's live radio. We want you guys here. That's why you're here. You did a hell of a version of Wild Child.
Thank you.
And also Touch Me. Did you choose those two songs, or did these guys come in and say, this is what you're doing?
No. There's a lot of politics involved in that record. I was actually we were like one of the last groups to be asked to do it. I think Elektra at the time, the producer, felt that they wanted some big names on it. And that was but then I got this gig, so I don't...
Man.
You know, you don't send a boy to do a man's job.
There you go, buddy. There you go. Robby, when you're working out this new arrangement that you guys did for Strange Days, walk us through that a little bit. I mean, you've got this song everybody knows, but you want to obviously update it and maybe make it more fresh for you. How's that go?
Well, actually, it was Ray's idea. Sure.
Ray,
Sure.
you
All
got
right,
this
I'll
song
take the
called
damn
Strange
responsibility.
Days.
All right. Well, you want to do the songs, but you also want to do something a little different too. You know, we've got the songs. I mean, Roadhouse Blues and Love Me Two Times, where that's the way the songs go, and that's the way they should be played. But Strange Days is not one of the Doors' big hits that necessarily has to conform to a preconceived notion. And I just wanted to take it into into a 21st century groove, and add a little ethnic stuff to it. So I decided to put that. And we're just going to do that recording, and we're going to ride out on that. And what I want to do is I want to have people in Abu Dhabi dancing to this. I want Bahrain. I want them. Actually, I wouldn't even mind it if they were dancing to this in Iraq. So we don't have to do. You know what we used to say in the '60s, folks? Make love, not war.
Amen.
That's what the '60s were all about. It was about peace and love and a time of decency. Love between human beings on this planet. What do we got? We got this little globe, this little marble that we live on. We dance our dance for 75, 80, if we're lucky, 85 years. By God, we better live together in love, peace, and harmony. No war, man. What is that war business that's going on? Beating the war drums? No beating of the war drums. We don't have to do that. It's apocalypse.
You mean
man.
you don't agree with President Bush?
I'm not naming no names. I'm not naming no names. There are people beating the war drums in Washington, and this will not stand this time, man. This is the wrong thing to do. We got to bring all those people into the 21st century and make them our friends, and all of us can live together. Make love, not war. So that's why I did this new arrangement in a way. So Strange Days, I want people dancing in the Middle East, man. I want people dancing to Doors music.
I couldn't agree more, but I got to be the devil's advocate here. It's my job. I got to be Look, Zeppelin, big fan of Middle Eastern music, big influence on them. I happen to love it myself.
Yeah.
But how are you going to convince people who actually think what you do is the devil's work? By actually sitting here and playing something that brings joy to millions of people, that translates to them as actually something that is the definition of evil. How are we going to turn that around?
Small percentage, very small percentage of the fundamentalists. Fundamentalism and even economic fundamentalism is the downfall of the world. You have to be a loving, open, giving person. You can't be a fundamentalist. What now we've got in America is market fundamentalism. That's why the big boys at the top are making billions of dollars and everybody's losing their retirements and their pensions. We got to stop those guys from doing that. That's fundamentalism. That's called market fundamentalism. It's a very small percentage, Jim. the vibrations of love in the music and the excitement and the passion and the sexual passion in the music is going to override all of the mullahs saying that's the devil's work. Because they said Elvis Presley was the devil's work.
Yep.
And remember the
Absolutely.
beat 2 and 4. Man, I grew up. I was there when Elvis Presley first came on the scene. And that backbeat, that 1, 2, 3, 4, that was the devil's beat. White men dance on 1 and 3. Good, decent, holy, you know.
White people dancing. Yeah.
White people dance on 1 and 3, or even better, a 1, 2, 3. They don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's the devil's beat. It comes low in the hips, drives you into a sexual frenzy. So what, man? Here we are today, and we're still alive and well, and we're digging the world and in love with the world.
Amen. 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 Speaking of the devil's beat, let's go to you for a minute. Let's go. I'm looking at you, troublemaker. It is Stewart's fault. Oh, most of it, yes. You're going to need that, Stewart. See, this is, oh man, it's always.
You
they
want
say.
more?
You have some small experience in playing with a trio in your life before this band, the Police, ladies and gentlemen, as you know. Contrast the difference for me between what you did and the kind of music you did in the Police and playing with Robby and Ray.
Well, the fundamental difference between a 4-piece and a 3-piece is one more guy.
Hold on. Hold on. I want to write that down.
Well, the really important thing is that a 3-piece can fit in a car with a driver, and you don't have to have 3 guys in the back seat.
Yeah, but we were really
That's
a
not the
three-piece.
answer you wanted.
We were a 3-piece musically.
That's right.
You know, we only had 3 guys playing, 1 guy singing. But
Well, the thing about a 3-piece is that you make decisions really easily. I mean, all jokes aside, I think the reason why 3-pieces are artistically much more strong sometimes than larger bands is because it's 2 against 1. You make a creative decision and you move on real fast. With a 4-piece, there can be 2 against 2, and you got to negotiate, you got to compromise. And when there's 5, you water it down. But when it's 3-piece, it's 2 against 1. You do whatever idea it is that's being proposed, you do it all the way. Because it's 2 against 1. It's like Chinese democracy, you know, ganging up on the minority. But what it means is that you're forceful and determined and very clear about what you're doing.
Okay. Very good. Angela, I got to ask you one question before we get out of here. How did you meet up with these boys?
I've been playing with Robby Krieger for about 2 years.
Ah.
And I did the Storytellers, the VH1 special thing. And I guess they like me, so I'm back.
Good.
Yeah.
I thought Ray was...
And I must add, playing Ray's left hand there is a bitch.
Is it really?
But
I
he's
thought he
doing
was
it
just
great.
getting-
He's doing it great. Angelo, you're fabulous, man. Thank you so much, brother.
Good. Because for so long on stage, you always did it with... You were the bass and the keyboards.
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
it.
right. A Fender Rhodes keyboard bass, and
Right.
played the Vox Continental, not the Farfisa, the Vox Continental. So for all you trivia buffs, the Vox Continental organ with my right hand. But that's an extension of boogie woogie. I mean, all piano players can do it. You know, it's just you learn how to play boogie woogie. Albert Ammons and Pinetop Smith and those guys, man, the great boogie woogie giants of America. As a piano player, that's what you learn how to do. So I just translated that into playing single lines like. I'll say this on the radio, what the hell, like Lenny Tristano. Not that anyone will know what I'm talking about, except for Lenny Tristano's family and, Anyway, Lenny Tristano was a great jazz guy who had a fabulous left hand and kept the beat going with his left hand. So it's very easy. It's not a difficult thing to do.
Here's something this will be the last question, and we're going to let you guys get to this extraordinary tune. One of the hallmarks of the Doors' live performances was always your extraordinary ability to improvise on stage and take the music in a different direction every night. Have you gotten to that place yet? Because I would imagine that's time.
That's coming, man. That's coming. That's coming. Yeah.
So and we can look forward to that as the band gets to know each other better and progresses.
Exactly. This is a gestation. This is the first public performance of the 21st Century Doors.
I love that. You ready? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time from 95.5 KLOS in Jim Ladd's living room. God, it's my pleasure. The Doors.
subscription to the resurrection. And send my credentials to the house of detention. I've got some friends inside.
to the big sleep. I want to hear. I want to hear the scream of the butterfly. Come back, baby, back into my arms. We're getting tired of hanging around. Waiting around with all heads to the ground. I hear a very gentle sound. Very near yet very far, very soft yet very clear. Come today, come today. What have they done to the earth? What have they done to all this is gold? Ravaged and plundered and ripped her and bit her. Stuck her with knives in the side of the dawn and tied her with fences and dragged her down. Woo! I hear a very gentle sound. With your ear down to the ground. We want the world and we want it. We want the world and we want it now. So when the music's over, when the music's over, when the music's over, turn out the lights, turn out the lights, turn out the lights. For the music is your special friend. Hands on fire and it intends. Music is your only friend. Until the end.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Manzarek, Robby Krieger, Ian Astbury, Stewart Copeland, Angelo on the bass. You have just witnessed the rebirth of the Doors. Thank you for being such a great audience. Don't forget the Harley-Davidson gig this Friday, the 100th anniversary. Thank you for coming to Jim Ladd's living room and for listening to KLOS. Good night.
We witnessed the rebirth of a band. And what a touchy thing to do, and what a wonderful thing to pull off in this way, because of the extraordinary mantle that the Doors have carried with them for 30 years. The reputation and the music and what that music means to people like me and you and all of their fans. They found a way to honor the music, honor Jim Morrison, yet create something new. And I think that a lot of credit is due to these four men that you heard, and Angelo, who was on the bass. This was not, as Ray Manzarek said, a cover band. This was not, thank God, a Jim Morrison impersonation by Ian Astbury. Quite the contrary. It was honoring the music, his wonderful individual interpretation of the music, yet it was something different. And what I look forward to now that they've made this statement is in the future to see what this band will create as in the terms of new music when they start writing and creating and come out with something new. I think this is wonderful. And I want to thank everybody who came and was a part of the studio audience. I hope you enjoyed that. You were a great, great audience. In the mix, you really couldn't hear quite how good the audience was because they were so responsive and so respectful and just was, it was like the sixth musician there, the audience in that in the House of Blues. Also want to remind everybody about the Harley-Davidson show this Friday. It's the Harley-Davidson 100th Anniversary Open Road Tour. There's going to be 10,000 bikes, 50 exhibits, 25 bands. The Doors, of course, will be there. Stone Temple Pilots, Los Lobos, the Doobie Brothers, Billy Idol, Journey, a lot more during the weekend. It's at the California Speedway in Fontana, and it's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tickets on sale now at all Ticketmaster locations. And that's going to be just one hell of a gig. And I'm going to be there on Friday. It's going to be my honor to introduce the Doors as they come out on stage. So I'm looking forward to that. But what a wonderful job they did. And Stewart Copeland, great job doing the John Densmore stuff, because as he said, a lot of this stuff was improvised when the Doors did this. Not only on stage were they known for that, but when you do a song like When the Music's Over, that's improvised in the studio. That recording that you know so well was not written out with charts and everything. The Doors went in and made that up and played that as a band, which is so rare nowadays. So to go back now and try to figure out what John Densmore did and then to put his Stewart Copeland stamp on it and Ian Astbury stamp on it, just amazing. And the final thing I got to say, how about Robby and Ray? When you listen to how great they're playing in the year 2002, with what power and passion that they're playing, I'm telling you, this is exciting. This is exciting. I tried to think of what would be a good song to follow. What do you follow that with? And I thought this might be appropriate. You're listening to KLOS Los Angeles.